So in today's web dev tip, we're going to take a look at how you can merge two arrays in turn using JavaScript. So let me explain a little bit what I mean by that. So we've got these two arrays here, and obviously we can merge them together, but what we want to do is keep the sequence of numbers going. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we take the first item from the first array, and then the first item from the second array, and return a new array from our function so that all of the numbers are in order. So you might be thinking, well, if I just want to merge two arrays together, I can use the spread operator, and that will indeed actually merge the two arrays together in our function here. So for example, if we have the spread operator for array 1 and the spread operator for array 2, you can see in the output on the right hand side that we've got the 6 items in the returned array, but they're not in sequence. So we've got 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6. And that's because the spread operator in this instance will just concatenate the arrays together and not take them in sequence. So I'm going to walk through a solution of how you can actually merge these two arrays in total. So the first thing we're going to do is set up a new variable called Accumulator, which will be a new array that's going to be returned from the function. Let's just return it straight off here so that we don't forget to do that. And then using a simple for loop, we're going to loop through the arrays and then just take each item in turn. So let's create this for loop here. So let's keep going while I is less than array1.length, and then we'll just increment I at each iteration. So we're going to loop through array 1, and what we'll do is for the accumulator, we're just going to push onto it the item from array number 1 at position I, and then the item in array 2 also at position I. So you can see now in the output on the right hand side that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whilst this works, it is actually flawed, as you'll see if I add some more items into one of the other arrays. So for example, if we had 7 and 8 in the second array, you can see the output in the right hand side is still showing the same as before, and that's because when we hit the length of array 1 within our for loop, we actually stop and don't push any more items onto the accumulator, so these extra ones in array 2 are never found. So what we need to do is find out what the largest array is and keep looping until we hit that limit. So that's pretty simple to do. We can just set a new variable called largest array, for example, and just on the math object we'll use the max function and then just pass it in the lengths of the two arrays that we've got. So in the function we've got array1.length and also array2.length. So with this largest array variable here, that'll have the largest length that we need to keep looping to. So let's just use that instead of the length of the first array. And if we save that now, you'll see it does work. We've got 7 and 8 in the output on the right hand side, but because we're also trying to push values from array 1, even when we've gone past its limit, we're getting these null values in here as well. So one thing we should probably do is check whether the value that we're trying to access actually exists. So we can do that with a simple if statement here. So in array 1, let's check that the item at position I that we're currently looking at is actually truthy. So if it is truthy, we'll push it on using the accumulator.push function. And whilst we're here, we should probably also do the same for array 2 in case array 1 is the longer array. So now you can see in the output on the right hand side that the null values have gone, and it doesn't matter which array is the longest. We'll always get an array merged in turn, and whichever one has some extra values will be put onto the end of the array that is in the final output. So there we go, that's just a bit of an interesting problem of how you would merge two arrays in turn in JavaScript. Stay tuned for more web dev tips.